This is Lemon's Car Spotting. You post to Instagram with the hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting. We pick the hooptiest.
They are so incredibly terrible.
And which one we want to become a real Lemons build.
It does car-like things. I've been pushing for one of those in Lemons too, and those are very affordable.
And welcome to another episode of Lemon's Car Spotting. I'm Eric. That's still bad at this. Nick over there. Yeah, there he is. You know how this works. You spot your cars. We talk about them. Nick will be the one choosing this week.
Yep, we got Lemon's build and the Hooptiest. Eric, tell me when to stop.
Not yet. Stop. Faked you out.
That's the Hooptiest. I will do the Lemon's build. Let's go. Faked me out there. All right.
That's what I do, man. Ooh.
Oh, wow. It's a Century?
A Century, sure, yeah.
Now, which body is this? Is this a G body?
It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be the G body, which was the A body, which then became another differenter A body later. But this is rear wheel drive. This one is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are some G bodies, obviously, like the Grand National, that are super cool, and this one is super not cool.
Yeah.
But it would be fun to sort of Grand Nationalize one of these, like, black it out, put in a turbo V6, put the wheels on it, and make it the Grand Century or whatever. That would be fun. Someone should do that.
I agree. I've never really, I don't think I've ever seen one of these, first of all. Which, look at the big, chunky, weird taillights. But I'm just noticing that the trunk is not a hatch. It's like a weird bustle back thing.
I was thinking the same thing. And then I was thinking, this was still during a period where gigantic full-size sedans were a thing. So what was the purpose of making this?
I don't know. I mean, in theory, I guess it's slightly more aerodynamic. And during the Malaise era, the beginning of cafe standards. Yeah, I don't know. Also, there was probably a lot of drugs circulating.
Yeah. Or, is there a European car that did this around that time? I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I could very much see General Motors boardroom like, look at that style. That's the future. Yeah. And then coming out with this.
Yeah, it's a picture of like a Renault 4.
Yeah.
Or right here. Davison, go make this. But you have $8. Go.
Right. It's like that and a Porsche 928. Like, we need a little European style in our lineup.
Yeah, this is as European as a celebrity Euro. So.
Right.
There you go.
Oh, boy.
The proto Euro.
Yeah. Oh, what the... What the heck? God, there's a lot going on, but most obviously the Dune Buggy / Moon Rover.
Yeah, what's amazing is that there's only one gigantic hole in it, although it looks like it burned through behind the door or something.
God, I love the windshield. That's sweet.
The windshield's amazing. The way that the body line follows it all the way back with like louvers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not stylistically. From a strictly design standpoint, it's a lot more successful than, I don't know, this. So I'm not really mad at it. What's the deal with this thing?
I don't know. This might be the coolest Volkswagen kit ever built, frankly.
That's really neat. I like that. And then obviously first gen RX-7, a Corvair, and then what's that behind the Corvair?
It looks vaguely late 40s Dodge-ish.
Yeah.
Chrysler of some sort.
Yeah, although it looks small to be that, although that's the most likely. I was thinking one of those weird rounded European cars like a Peugeot 403 or something like that. But it probably is not that.
Yeah.
And then it looks like some kind of 5-cylinder Audi in the extreme right.
Yeah. Wherever this is, it's a magical place.
Yeah. Somebody's got a sense of style. Well, it says Illinois, USA.
Yeah.
From Fritz Armstrong.
If you know what that kit is, tell us in the comments.
Let us know what the kit is. That's right
Lemons
up there with the Laser 917 as the coolest Volkswagen kit. All right.
By the way, kit cars get like 1 billion points on Lemons Rally. So if you know this kit, bring one of these.
Right. And they're largely illegal in Lemons racing. So
also, that's
for safety reasons.
We love seeing them, but get it road legal and then do that.
Exactly. All right. Next up. There it is. The Cross Cab. It's our second Cross Cab, I believe. CrossCabriolet, that is. What's there to say that we haven't already covered? I mean, once again, I'm going to defend Nissan a little bit in that I am one of the most upset people in the world that everything has to be an SUV. And I feel like Nissan built this out of spite. Like, all right, you dillwads, all you want is SUVs. We're going to make everything an SUV, including this convertible, including this weird Toyota Solara convertible. We're making that an SUV. Screw you. Yeah. So if that was the motivation, I can really get behind that because, you get what you ask for. And apparently American buyers only want SUVs. And, Nissan answered the call.
I love about this car so much that it somehow looks like the heftiest car that has ever been built.
Yeah.
Like the brass era cars, that were like, monstrosities because, whatever had this gigantic motor. It looks like that. Modernized.
Like proportionally, when you see a bulldog or a pit bull, you're like, that's a heavy dog. That's a lot of dog body, not very long dog legs. and that dog, that's a small dog, but that dog's going to weigh 52 pounds.
Yeah.
And same visual reaction with the Cross Cab for sure.
I don't know what the curb weight is of this, but it must be north of like 4,700 pounds.
It's got to be a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, Class C budget exemption for Lemons Racing. Bring it.
Yeah. Bring one.
All right. Next up.
Oh, man.
God. What is it? Some kind of Chinese electric car?
I don't know. Sure. If you know what it is in the comments, tell us.
Tell us in the. What does it say? Oh, I figured it's actually a political candidate. Reelect Mayor Goldie Wilson edition. I thought for sure this was going to be like the donut shop or the quirky cafe delivery vehicle. But no, this is somebody who wants you to support them because of their ability to make good decisions.
That's right. I know what this is. It took me a minute to pick up on it. This is also a Nissan. It is a Nissan Escargot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which was a mostly European, like miniature panel van, basically.
Now, that isn't part of the series that's got the POW and the other. There were like 3 Nissans that were sort of weird and retro styled. The POW is the one that it jumps immediately to mind, but there was a
Figaro.
Right, the Figaro.
And there's another one. It might have been the third one, or this might have come later. Either way, it's like the ZOMG, how cute could car be? Kind of deal.
Right. Well, yeah, in a culture that loves anime and cuteness, hey, you got to give them credit for making that a real thing you can use.
It's a strange choice for Tim 2022, but here it is.
There you go. Yeah. Huh. Well,
there it is.
Cast your vote. All right. Next. Oh. It's just like the cover of Mopar Quarterly.
Yeah.
It's a Coronet, I believe. And and it's the cool one. It's like a cool year.
Yeah.
This is right up the street for Lemon's judge, Tom Hergert, owner of Rocket Restorations, well-known Mopar hoarder. But the light of the divine is shining on this doorless Mopar.
Yeah, man. It's 68, 69, something like that, which is, classic muscle car year. I don't know. It's there. It's obviously not going anywhere. This is perfect for Lemons. This is the classic. You can't find that car for $500, and this obviously been sitting in a field for 20 years.
Right now, it's possible that this is one of those cars that's been sitting in the field for 20 years, and you go up and either the guy wants $17,000 or it's not for sale because I will restore it one day.
Right.
That doesn't make it not a $500 car. You just got to wait till that guy dies or gets evicted, and then this thing immediately becomes, $247 plus fees, and you're on your way to a Lemons race car.
I mean, a pretty successful strategy in Lemons is to drive around with a trailer and $500 cash in your pocket, and you see this, you knock on the door and hopefully don't get shot. And you say, here's $500. I will haul that car over there away right now. And you'll be rid of it forever.
You're going to find a taker for that strategy for sure.
Yeah. It may not be a 68 Coronet, but it'll be something.
It'll be something for sure. All right, let's move on. We were just talking about possibly Australian-built Mazda Fords sold as Mercuries in this country. And lo and behold, here's another possible entry in that.
Yeah, Capri XR2. It's man, people dump on these because they're not Miatas, and they very much are not Miatas. But they are decent little cars for what they are. Well, we've seen one maybe in Lemons, and it's an Escort GT. I mean, it's is that the same motor as a Miata, like a BP Mazda motor, just transverse and front drive? With a turbo in the XR2.
That's right.
They're like 140 horsepower. It's the same as an Escort GT, as you say. It's basically the same thing, same platform.
Yeah. I've probably told this story before. My dad really wanted a convertible, and when the Miata came out, he was like, I gotta have it. And I was 9 at the time, and he was under pressure from smarter people, aka my mom, to get something that could carry kids around. And this car actually has a tiny little back seat. And so what my dad did was he test drove this, he test drove the Miata. Then he waited until I was 17 and had my own car and bought a Miata.
I mean, the timing on the Capri was probably the most unfortunate part of it. It came out the same year, I think, that the Miata did, maybe a year ahead. But if you drove them back to back, you'd be like, all right, well, that's an easy choice. I think the Miata probably cost about the same. Frankly, I know. So if tell us in the comments. But but for a $500 beater. Kind of great. And
for a Lemons car, it's just as good performance wise as a Miata, you'd figure. So, all right, nice find. There's so much happening. The thing that pushed me over the edge is the crime scene tape. I don't even know what it is. It's some 80s/90s American car, like a Corsica or something like that.
That is absolutely a Corsica.
Oh God. That is involved in an FBI investigation.
Oh man, there's so much to say about this. First of all, the caption is amazing, which is, "We just lost the cleanest Corsica in the United States."
Why you ruin classic?
Why you ruin classic? Second of all, nobody sees these cars at all anymore because they're terrible. And finally, Nick, you frequently text Judge Phil and Armand and myself with screenshots from the first 48, the show that you watch with crime cars. Right. That was pretty. I mean, the Corsica is like the crime car of the early 2000s.
Oh, absolutely. No,
this is a classic, basically.
Yeah. I mean, this is borderline. Like, this is intentional and it's some kind of art installation. Right. It's a commentary on the prison industrial complex and the cultural archipelago of punishment in the United States. But in reality, it's just like, this is a kidnapping suspect who made a run for it in the Corsica. And they located the car and had to, do CSI on it. Oh, God.
It astounds me because this looks like, if you've ever watched any of the Mustangs leaving cars and coffee videos, this is how they all end up.
Right.
But there's literally no way to accidentally do that with a Corsica unless you just like drive off the road because you're being shot at by the police during a kidnapping chase. So,
totally. Man.
Amazing spot.
That's excellent. Who did this? The gold star for this. Serious Time Racing. Excellent. I love it. All right. Next up. Oh, man. This is Brooklyn car. I like the caption of this one too. It's a 3021 Honda Civic.
Oh. Or in 1861. Good God.
Right. Yeah. Or a Civil War era Honda Civic. Now a couple of things. One, I just love the idea of this being somebody's daily driver being street parked in a major city, which it apparently is.
Yep.
And then, it also has some vibes of the Storm Chaser, which, boy, I watched that show. I've never rooted harder for the tornado because these guys. It's like they watched Twister one too many times, and we're like, we're creating an early advance warning system. It's like, no, you're just spending your trust fund on making a weird armored vehicle and then patting yourselves on the back about it. Much less interesting use of this styling than Daily Driver in Brooklyn, I must say.
Yeah. Everything happening here is good. Don't need to say anything else. Whatever this is bolted onto, spectacular. Street parking it even better. And watching it drive around Brooklyn must be incredible.
Now, I'm thinking you have to be a pretty eccentric person to have this as your vehicle. And I'm thinking just about eccentric weirdos in Brooklyn who don't know how the world works. And now I'm wondering, is this Kyrie Irving's car? It is possible. All right, moving on. It's a sick wrap. What is it?
Carfax? They're Carfax stickers.
What? Wait a minute. So what's the purpose of a Carfax sticker? It's like at a dealership, you put one, presumably, on a car that has a Carfax.
It must be, yeah. So
this is somebody who worked at the dealership and was like, you know what? Screw it.
It's we talked about on the previous episode the structural rainbow on the van. This is structural Carfax.
Structural Carfax. It's well done. Like the. I mean, this is we talk a lot about concept versus execution here, and usually it's concept good, execution bad. This might be an example of the reverse, because man, they got the lines perfect on this baby.
Yeah, it's a 200 SX, I think.
Yeah, which is an excellent Lemons car. Has won a Lemons race. The Sentra SER is maybe more well known in enthusiast circles. The 200 SX was just the later, slightly heavier version, but twin cam 2-liter, reliable. That's a solid Lemons car if you can find one.
Yeah. Yep. hands down, ready to go racing. Again, paint a big swatch of white on it and then put black numbers on it. Other than that, it's ready to go.
Yeah. So. You put the number in the back window. That'd be okay.
Yeah, that'd be fine as well.
To retain the unbroken line of Carfax stickers.
Although this probably goes for the one of the cardinal rules of buying a car, which is you never buy a car from a mechanic that it was his daily driver that never gets worked on.
Right.
Yeah. So all of the deferred maintenance on this thing.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Last car for the week. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a Volari
coupe. Yeah.
Yeah. With the louvered opera window.
Yeah.
I can't tell if there's a Landau because it would be the same color.
I really do respect if it has a Landau, the body colored Landau, where it's just the difference in texture.
That's right.
That is the style statement.
Yeah,
the louvers are kind of interesting in that, I mean, it's a very 80s thing on a very 70s design. And I guess that makes sense because this is probably right in that transition, the 78 to 82 era where you had your old chassis that you were trying to update for modern times.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Late 70s was the Volari. It's also parked horribly.
Yeah.
Which is great. There's weird somethings on the front fender. If you know what those are, tell us in the comments. Is that like the turn signal that blinks at you, the driver, to let you know it's on?
I know. Yeah. Or just, corner markers. So you sort of know where the corner is, although it's like 6 inches from the corner. So you're still going to be smashing into stuff.
There still is a solid foot with the bumper that juts out there. But the interior looks incredible and is that brown plaid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does this count as brown in your book for the Brown Car Appreciation Society?
Well, I had to leave the BCAS because it was just discussions about what or what not is brown. I would say, I mean, obviously it's tan beige, but if you want to put it in the Brown Car Appreciation Society, you should. But then you will be yelled at, which is why that's one of the most horrible places on the internet.
Correct. Brown is a state of mind.
Right. I mean, that's really like, what would you describe this car as and not talk about the color? It would still be brown. So,
right.
Yeah.
Spectacular. It's a great car. Probably has a slant 6 in it.
Yeah. What do we got here? Hooptiest. I think that's you.
Yeah, boy. Part of me would almost say that weird Volkswagen Kit, but it's kind of too cool to be a Hooptie. I mean, I'm sure the Beetle that's under it is super Hooptie. The Angel's pick of the Coronet, also really good with the divine lighting. Escargot was so bad, too. But I got to say, I don't think there's anything more Hooptie than the chase scene ended Chevy Corsica. Absolutely the Hooptiest thing I've seen on the show, maybe ever.
That is your whole life is Hooptie. It's not just your car. I mean, there's so many things that are going on that are just so Hooptie
I'm just now noticing that the far end of the crime scene tape goes over the car. It's like they crashed into a crime scene.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You look at it.
Well, it's got two sets of crime scene. There's the perimeter, and then there's the ground zero, which is the
okay. So they wrap the car. Yeah, the car is the crime scene.
Yeah. Oh,
well,
dude.
I'm sorry for whatever unfortunate thing happened here, but man.
Well, for the Lemons build, I really wanted to pick. There goes the Escargot again. I really wanted to pick this Dune buggy because imagine this thing on a racetrack. It'd be so cool. But I just can't in good conscience, because we have the, unofficially banned VW kit cars and really most kit cars from Lemons, because they're so badly constructed and wouldn't be safe in a wreck. So like Eric said earlier, definitely bring this on a Lemons rally, bring it to a Concord Lemons. We don't want you to die, so probably don't bring it to a Lemons race. So then I was thinking, if only there was something that had a different body, looked sort of like a moon rover, but was more substantial and safer and probably not based on a Volkswagen Bug, and yet would still look super awesome on a racetrack. And that, of course, would be the Kyrie Irving edition 3021 Honda Civic.
Yeah.
Imagine this on a racetrack. So good.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's gonna cut the corner in front of you. You're not gonna get dive bombed in this thing.
Well, and
tire.
Yeah, maintenance could be a little difficult, but if it's a Honda Civic in there, you might be all right. Rearward visibility would be not good, but let's face it, our Lemons drivers looking in their mirrors. I mean, come on.
No, you can fix that with a couple of $20 part store rear view cameras as well.
Yeah, there you go. God, imagine this thing on a racetrack. That's all I have to say. We'd have to do a race at Laguna Seca just to get the picture of this thing going down the corkscrew.
Yeah. By the way, there is a commenter that says it's an 05 S10 Blazer.
God,
even
slam
better.
Dunk.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it. We're ending on a high note. That was a good collection.
That's right.
Thanks for your excellent posts. Keep tagging your posts with Lemons Car Spotting on Instagram. We'll find them and talk about them. Man, it's just the thing to roam the flat earth in.
Merrimack grade science.